I don't want to play vampires. The deck is too good. I want to play something more fun and, you know, a little more casual than vampires. Forest Noble Hierarch, interesting. No, we lost the game ends. That was game 3 of the match. Okay. Infect traditionally is a deck that Jeskai has a good matchup against. I think that this configuration of Jeskai is no different. They usually play like 2 forests, right? Although we may just die to Hierarch beatdowns here. Yeah, not every stream can be 14-1, of course. I think I'm just gonna Wildfire them. This is probably a strip mine, and we can maybe go like snap Wildfire next turn. Oh man, no. Another land is really, really bad. What's the spiciest modern brew I've seen recently? Maybe Timu's blue red boil proof Kiki Jiki combo deck. Yeah, I think I'm just playing around them not having enough infect to kill me. I'd really like to be able to bounce my Snapcaster with Teferi and draw a removal spell and snap back the removal spell because we're just so flooded here. Another land. Ah. If only Esther was still here so I could blame her for this. Yeah, they do have it. Certainly a tough game, but no, we're still Jeskai control against Infect. We've got a good chance to win both sideboard games. Well, the things probably get better for them because we don't actually have, you know, like a ton of Infect hate. Our creature cards are, you know, Platinum Emperion. Although I think the only cards that are really like truly bad are Remand. So I'll bring in the Anger. I don't hate the Dispute. Don't love it. Maybe Gust are better. Now, I think I'll play 2 Gusts and not play the Dispute. But I do like Force of Negation against them. Teferi and the burn spells are good. The Planeswalkers are a bit clunky for sure. Shark Typhoon can be good against Nexus. Unexisting could watch Jeskai all day. Well, I could play Jeskai all day. Yeah, definitely Gust a little bit better against Veil, for sure. I'll keep this. Obviously really good if they have a Blighted Agent, but also Teferi on the play is often a very powerful thing to have access to. Yeah, so it does kind of seem like they have a agent. It could also just be on Nexus here, which would be worse for us, of course. I suppose I'd want to like Gust a Hierarch or a Glistening Elf, so I'll hold up Gust. But I thought about maybe playing Sacred Foundry Chapped to like really entice them into tapping out into the Spell Snare. So I kind of feel like they have a Veil. It's not like foregone conclusion, of course. Spell Pierce would be bad. They don't have it. Cool. So now, if they can only deploy 1 threat this turn, we're going to be in really good shape. If they can play 2, the shape we're in is going to be worse than great. Great sentence, Spike. Thank you, chat. All right, this is 2 threats if you count it up. So maybe we can just draw a land, and so we could go bounce here and bounce again, and then they'll spend their turn replaying their threats, but we'll have a Jace untapped with. Although we can only bounce once next turn, of course. You can maybe do some cryptic tapping with a Jace in play. If you draw a removal spell, Maybe we do bounce and snare it on the way down. We could bounce this and then Typhoon to block and then Spell Snare on the way down. I don't hate that. This also leaves us as with the ability to Cryptic Command. Yeah, I kind of like this. This feels like maybe a little too conservative than the Brainstorm, but seems okay. I also like that the Jace is at 1, so this kind of does. This is fun. I'll just bounce that with Teferi maybe. I don't really care too much about this right now. Blossoming Defense. Can make a 3/3 Shark and block. Yeah, pretty good exchange for us. Oh, they got another forest, which means wildfires are now stone rains. Brainstorm. Well, I think we'll be okay to deal with the Shaper's Sanctuary drawing them a card. We didn't need to. This was bad. We have a Flood Raveler in play, so we just don't need to bolt right away. I think we'll still be fine, but bit of a misstep. Yeah. They conceded, but a lag there. Can maybe play the 3rd Gust against Shaper's Sanctuary. I think I'm just gonna submit like this. Can definitely get Gust flooded. This hand is good enough to keep. And just good too. Where did I end up with Blue-White Ghost Sharkblade? It seems to me that that version is not as good as the version with Archmage's Charm and Mystic Sanctuary. At least at the moment. That was my impression after playing 2 leagues with it. Maybe 3. Wow, very threat heavy start. Cleansing Wildfire is maybe the best draw. They put the scale up on top. Interesting. Go to 1 Infect. Is there any 1-mana spell modern that can counter 1 CMC creature? There's Mana Tithe. Wait. Does scale up turn the card into a green creature? But Aether Gust still can't target lands, right? Target spell or permanent. Damn it. Well, that was a punt. They couldn't have spell skied. Oh, it's so sick. Alright, lesson learned. You can Aether Gust a scaled up creature and they can't spell skite onto it. And it's really, really good if you can do that. Yeah, I didn't have it. That was not on my radar at all. So cool though. Yeah. So because Spellskite's not green, Spellskite is not a legal target for it to redirect the Gust to. I'm gonna pass it back again. If they have another scale up, that'd be really nice, right? Although if they had another scale up, maybe they just would have cast it there. It's a Might of the Old Crocia. Crocia? It's gonna tap draw. I guess if I'm gonna tap draw, give them the opportunity to cast another pump spell on their turn. Unexistent, thank you for your tier 1 subscription. Hope you're having a good day today, bud. Great draw. I'm gonna jam Jace. And they only have 2 cards in their hand. It's not like super likely they can kill me. Maybe we can hold up Spell Snare. maybe we can hit like something nutty like land plus burn spell. I think I will put Cryptic on top. There aren't any 2-mana pump spells, right? No. Not ones that actually have CMC too. There's Vines of the Vastwood, of course. That's a card that I'm okay with them having, I guess, in this spot. Thanks, Unexistent. They do have a pump spell. Are they gonna... I guess they just attack Jace. Which was a 2-for-1 here, at least. So now, well, if we bounce the Spellskite and snare it on the way down, then they do get to draw a card. I think that's just gotta be fine. I guess they can get us with Veil either way. But this plays around a hexproof spell in their hand. Yeah, someone told me that Ross was playing my list today. It's pretty cool. We could have definitely won this game if or maybe not. We would be in way better shape, I should say, if I knew we could gust the Nexus after it gets scaled up. If this doesn't work, I think we're toast. Okay. We're still bread. I'm gonna pass it back. Snap, force block, yeah, can't block. It's gonna take 3. And then Snap Gust the Shaper Sanctuary if they don't do anything. They put it on the bottom. Don't know exactly what that means for us. How much burn do we have? We have 6. It's not, yeah, not quite enough to kill them, of course. Just wanted to look. We've got 2 burn spells here. We'd also, you know, snap to tap their team and draw a card. I kind of like that if they play like a sorcery speed pump spell here. Could just go to... Could just take it. Kind of like just taking it for now. We got two removal spells. Yeah, I think end of turn I will snap bolts the Nexus, and then I think that we do Helix in response to a protection spell, and then if that works, then we get to anger away the agent. We also lose our Snapcasters, but what are you gonna do? This is a Become Immense. Interesting. Okay. 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 Ooh, good draw. Got their threats off the board. No Shaper Sanctuary, no Spellskite. We have a Spell Snare for this. Not too scared of a Dryad Arbor, although we can't, like, it can beat the Snapcaster in combat because of the Pendle Haven, so no attacks. Into Shark Typhoon! What a game. What a game. Why not snap Helix and hit with 3 snaps? Because the Anger of the Gods is just, like, not doing anything otherwise, was my thought process. And then just Snapcaster is one more answer. And so like that line plays really, really poorly like, around them just having like another Nexus specifically or any other threat. Again, can't attack into the Dryad Arbor because they just make it a 2/3 to block the snap. Not that they definitely play it, but we got there. Oof. Very, very close game. The game would have been much less close if I knew I could Aether Gust Inkmoth Nexus after Scale Up had been cast on it. So keep in mind, if Scale Up is cast on a creature, you can gust that creature. And they can't redirect it to Spellskite unless the Spellskite is green or red somehow, I guess. They cannot redirect it to Spellskite if Spellskite is not a red or green creature because it is not a legal target for Aether Gust. They can pay life, yeah, but that's not the same thing, right? I'm going to keep this. I think I'm putting back the Cryptic. Have I explored Historic? I've never played a single game of Historic. Although maybe I will, because I am going to be playing Arena anyways for the PT. I guess we could lead on flags. No, we can't draw. Sorry, we can't Wildfire Flagstones no matter what we draw next turn. So never mind. Just going to play Sanctuary on turn 1. Am I excited? Yeah, I'm excited to play Standard. It does look interesting to me at the moment. I haven't started, I guess, to get into it yet, but I plan on doing so soon. I get my test account like 2 weeks before the tournament, but I'm going to be trying to at least like start to learn the format before then. I think that's one mistake I made last time is I just took a little too long to get into the format. And I think if I had like a few more days of testing, I would have just realized that I needed to not play. I think I could have had a better Temur Rec matchup than I did. I played blue-white control with Yorion, like the Gabriel Nassif Omen version. Huh. I think I don't want to path Sue. Yeah, that's so much better to bolt here than path. Just gonna do it now. Opponent's on a brew, a cool looking brew for sure. Yeah, I watch Croakies from time to time. Not super often, mostly just because I'm also streaming and stuff. But I watch Croakies and Nassif when I'm interested in Standard. I'm gonna jam this, and I am gonna plus Jace. Opponent does seem like they're a Lightning Bolt deck, and they've been missing land drops, so maybe we'll try to stop them from hitting one. Okay, this is a deck I've seen. It's blue-red taking turns with Dreadhorde Arcanist, which is pretty cool. I am going to bottom Temporal Mastery in a spot like that. I thought my opponent might be playing Lightning Bolts, and it's like pretty bad if this Jace gets bolted in this specific spot. It felt like pretty free-ish 2+ with my opponent stumbling. All right, I think I am not going to just slam Teferi here. I may be more interested in just like bouncing a land and drawing a card. And also we're playing around Temporal Mastery by plussing with Jace there. And they did have the bolts. So we probably just let this resolve, right? This is just a 0-mana cycler unless they have a 1-mana spell here. It's fine. They do have a 1-mana spell. So I'll just counter draw. Our top card is a land, right? Probably. Are you kidding me? Come on. Opponents. This is like the third one. Because we bottomed in Temporal Mastery with Jace this game. Fine, fine. Kill my Jace. Kill it. This is the we bought them a Temporal Mastery, then they Miracle too. And they had a second Bolt for Jace. But we're also in good shape here. Let's not be too disingenuous. Do they have a Force? That would be absurd. It's pretty cool. A land or a blue card let us cast Force in this spot. I guess we should have just kept plussing Jace to play around more Temporal Masteries. That's really just on me. I am gonna float 2 mana end of turn, but I don't think I'm gonna like make a shark here or anything. It's fine. That's the 4th lightning bolt. Look at this graveyard. 4 bolts in a row. It's not too often you see something like that. 4 of the same card in the graveyard in a row. Well, I don't think my opponent has another bolt. It's just a feeling I've got. Pretty good draws, I guess. Above average, I'd say. Yeah, Snap Bolt. Ah! Does this deck play Snapcaster, or is it just Dreadhorde Arcanist? You may not be sure what they're playing without looking in their Exile here. But they're playing blue-red taking turns. I'm just gonna untap. Yeah, I remember the Teferi errata. It's pretty interesting tidbit of Magic history. I think I'm gonna Cryptic their Remand. I don't want them to draw a land, and then we get to untap with Remand plus double Force Up if we do this. And by untap, I mean Teferi untap, of course. And we could also Wildfire our own Flagstones if we don't need to Remand anything. People usually concede before Hero of Dominaria Ultimates. It's honestly, I think, very rare that people let you emblem. Tails End a Miracle trigger. Nexus of Fate is kind of interesting in this matchup because we could let them cast a Time Walk, and then we could just cast Nexus, and then we take the next turn. And then they get, 2 turns, but kind of into it. I think we just leave in 6 burn spells for Arcanists, too. Don't think we bring in Gust or Tails End. Maybe I'll bring in Tails End if I see a lot of Planeswalkers, but they're playing Arcanists, so I'm not, super confident they're playing like a million Planeswalkers. I guess they're probably playing Ancestral Visions, actually, which Tails End stops. Because they're playing Arcanists. So I'll play 1 and then 5 burn spells. If you cast Nexus in response, you can just pretend that you both didn't cast a spell. No, if you cast Nexus in response, they take the next turn, right? I know I've seen their deck pop up like a month or 2 ago. I don't know where you could find a list exactly, but I'm sure if you did some digging, you could find it. I'm gonna keep this. They do have a vision. We have 3 answers for that. Jeez. Teferi's like, I heard someone suspended Ancestral Vision. Anybody need some fun, Raveled? I would love if they just played Arcanist into my bolts. Could maybe Wildfire to mess with the Scry, a lesser known mode on Wildfire here. They did put 2 cards on top. Could also Tails End this Flooded Strand. Kind of like that more. Yeah, I'm gonna try to Tails End the Strand. Although I guess they're not gonna crack the Strand if they just put 2 cards on top. Yeah, I guess maybe we were supposed to Wildfire, huh? Why are extra turns even a thing in Magic? I don't know. I think that they are fun. You know, certainly not for both sides, but they are in general, I think, kind of fun and cool. And I do think fun is kind of relevant in Magic, right? Yeah, we were supposed to Wildfire last turn, though. I would have hit our land for this turn. I have a judge question. Let's say I activate Mindslaver targeting you, then I cast Nexus. Do I take control of Nexus turn or the turn after that? I think neither. Mindslaver, I believe, says you control player during their next turn, and then you control them during that turn, and you control them to have them cast another spell for another, or a Nexus for another turn. So I don't think it works how you're hoping it does. You can only cast one spell this turn, so I think it should just be our best one. Not too surprised to get remanded here, I suppose. No! I might just concede. Are you kidding me? I mean, maybe I was just asking for it. They're on the play. I'll play a second Tail's End. On the play. Hand's not very good, but I think it's good enough to keep. This isn't a bit. I didn't mean to mulligan. Sorry, guys. I do sometimes do that bit. I meant to click keep. All over the place today. I mean, this hand's fine too, but I thought that hand was fine, you know. Oh well, I'm glad I've mulliganed into this. Never mind. I take it all back. Yeah, very calculated. I hope they just suspend visions and we get to slam Teferi and win the game. They put one on bottom, one on top. Hell yeah, perfect. Exactly what I ordered. Now, this does have to not get forced. Okay, I wasn't really expecting them to play force, but it's fine. Can't have everything go perfectly for you, I suppose. Am I okay today? I don't see my cheery face. I'm fine, Matt. Honestly, there's like no question I hate getting more though. Then am I okay? This makes me so self-conscious about everything I like say and do, you know? You gonna make us both draw a card? I'm not gonna Tails in the trigger. I think I'll just Cryptic this. Thanks, fam. Appreciate ya. You're good, Matt. You're good. And it's also like when you try to convince someone that you're okay, you know, I feel like oftentimes it doesn't sound very convincing.
I did my homework.
Good job, sweetheart. So you did have homework.
I didn't have to study. I had homework, but you said study. And I'm like, I don't have a test for 2 weeks.
This is not an argument you're winning, right? Like,
I am winning. I have
don't
won.
think you are.
I am right. You are wrong.
I don't know about that one. I think you. It was a pretty flimsy one there. The nice thing about Mystic Sanctuary is it means you just don't flood out. Yeah, so there is a trigger that says whenever the last counter on Ancestral Visions is pulled off, they can cast it. And so this is what you suspend. And then there's no more counters in the future for it to be pulled off, and then they don't get to cast this. Kind of weird, a little unintuitive, but I promise that it works. I would never lie to you.
The worst question than you look tired, or the worst statement is you look sick. I've had a lot of coworkers, they're like, they've had someone ask them, "Are you okay? You look sick." And
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That's just,
no, I just don't have makeup on, they say.
yeah, that's just some mean girl shit, right? I think we can counter back. It's like it's really hard for them to go off without a Temporal Mastery here, and maybe I'm defeating myself by saying the phrase Temporal Mastery right, but we get a lot of salt value. We could also hit Force of Negation off the Jace. But they're stumbling, like they don't have lands to play. And without a card advantage engine, their time walks don't do very much. Okay, there's a Jace. Jace I think is fine. They mill me. That's interesting. Alright, let's find a Nexus of Fate. Wow, Force. It's bananas. Can shuffle with Wildfire on Flagstones. Or just have them mill my top cards. Here comes the Leveler. Dude, that would be so cool. Yeah, Jace doesn't untap lands. It stinks. Yeah, I'll counter and bounce their Jace. Counterbalance, I think, is my favorite mode on Cryptic. It's not like super duper common, but it's really fun to do, I think. They're gonna Mystic Sanctuary Temporal Mastery? That doesn't work. Teferi the Fun Raveler ravels the fun of miracles. Okay, they just target Time Warp. Not a big deal, right? Bajan, 2 months in a row, subbing for Jace Misclicks. Hell yeah. I keep misclicking. I keep meaning to +2. Attack for 2. I mean, this is a hard cast Shark Typhoon stream. I don't think it's correct to hard cast Shark Typhoon here, but I do think it seems fun. And how can something be incorrect if it's not fun? If it's fun, right? There's also the upside that we're never ever losing this game, and we're in garbage time. What is the Jace +2 meme? I know it's obviously the correct mode in all scenarios, but where did that come from? I guess it came from me, I guess. I'm really just kind of goofing on the people that say always brainstorm with Jace, because it's just not true. There are spots where you're supposed to +2, but there's a lot of Magic players who go, I always brainstorm with Jace. Did you know that Jace has a +2? I can't believe it. Why would you ever +2 Jace? There is that's a meme. That's a meme, and I'm kind of, you know, flipping it around, saying I only ever +2 with Jace. Why would you ever brainstorm? Yorion, the Sky Nomad, huh? I'll keep this against Yorion, I guess. I don't know exactly what Yorion means, though. Like, if this is Soul Herder, I like this hand. Looks like it is. 80 card Soul Rider, maybe. You did win against Miracle and Legacy this weekend with the Jace ult. I mean, I've ultimated many Jaces, you know. I agree. So they have Ice Fang. I thought I was going to get, like, main deck Tails Ended. That would have been awesome. Yes, I have voted already, for sure. I've said this a few times today. Maybe I'm talking out my ass, but I really wish we had a voting period instead of an election day, you know? That, like, you have 2 weeks to vote. I mean, which is what it is, but there's just, like, this culture around it's election day, vote on election day. But it's just way better to vote before. Lines are shorter. So I just wish that we called it, you know, an election period, not an election day. I don't know. But yeah, I voted like the second day you could. Yeah, I think you could give people the day off. I think that would be fine. But I think that instead, if we go with the election, if you give people the day off, the lines are going to be super long, but they just don't have to be if you do these over 2 weeks like we do. So I think that you should just have like, you should just be allowed like 2 hours paid time off to go vote. I think that should be a thing instead. But also, if you're going to look for political advice, political takes, stop with these time warps, okay? Stop it. Let's see if we find Force of Negation off the Shark. If you want political advice, I'm probably just not the person to listen to. No, I don't have a degree in anything relevant or a degree in anything at all. And there are smarter people to listen to than me. All I know is about Magic the Gathering.
Look at this Russian meme my dad sent. I think the caption says, "Came to work in a bad mood."
I've seen that, the GIF. Yeah.
Did you see the end?
Yeah, where he like yells at the snake.
No, he just...
Yeah, he slaps the snake, yeah. Well, I went to college, I just didn't finish.
Slaps it as if it's a dog.
Yeah, I saw it's funny.
He's funny. Who needs college?
Yeah, Esther's doing all the college in this household. That's why I'm yelling at you to do your homework, because I'm just such a bad student.
Yeah, I remember... I think you only did 1 semester of college while we were going out.
Yeah, and I just hate being in school, really. Alright, I don't want to snap bolt anything, because maybe that's like the one card they need to escape this arrow. Although it does open us up to Ephemerate a bit. Yeah, that's cool, offbeat. I do like that idea, of course, but... You know, I didn't make the rules here.
Hello? What?
Well, literally, Dank, 5 months in a row. Hope you're having a good day today. Appreciate you. Yeah, I know they have Ephemerate up, but they just put Yorion into their hand here. We also, we don't have to play into Ephemerate, of course. I'm just gonna play this. Doesn't get Quellered if they play Queller, but they probably don't. Maybe they have Force of Negation. She got a jam here, I think. I'll also double block an Ice Fang. Here in Sweden, we have a king. Maybe we should look into that. Probably a bad time to make that joke. Jay Riot, thank you for your tier 1 subscription. Hope you're having a good day today. Appreciate ya. Yeah, I'm really glad that, as I am really a one issue voter, and that issue is fracking. I really, 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 really love fracking, and I'm glad that both candidates are going to protect fracking. I would definitely describe myself as a one issue voter, and that's the issue. I love fracking, dude. Is that funny? I think so. I love fracking. Is that Battlestar Galactica? Where they say frack? I watched all of Battlestar Galactica when I was like 15, and I don't remember any of it, really. I remember that it got real weird at the end. It got like real weird, and not a lot made sense to me. Maybe I was young, maybe the show was bad, I don't know. My one vote issue is plussing Jace. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, is it FAC? Is it FAC or FRAC in Battlestar Galactica? I can't remember. It's been just so long. It's FRAC? Okay. Well, maybe that's like the real political commentary is that Battlestar Galactica knew that fracking would be the most important issue in our elections. I guess I want to bolt the Ice Fang after I bounce the Uro so I can keep my Teferi around. Maybe I should have already sanctuaried it. I think we'll be fine. About time to remake Battlestar Galactica again? Maybe. I don't remember it at all, really. I watched the whole thing, but it's been 10 years. Wow. So old. And I just don't remember any of it, except that it got real weird and the plot stopped making sense. I think it's fine to just remand this. Maybe they can remake Lost with a more coherent plot, maybe. Maybe they can just make a new show with original ideas. Probably not. I have had that idea for a while, and I'm still waiting for someone to do it. And if you're a movie executive or TV producer and you're in my chat, this idea is for free, but you could make a new show that's not a remake of anything. It just is a new. It's its own thing, you know. It's like a self-contained plot that has a start and an end and has like something interesting in it to like keep the audience interested. I don't know. I feel like that would be good. I'm still waiting for something like that to happen. Or a new Star Wars trilogy, that could be good. Either or is something I'm fine with. Dude, as long as the movie says Star Wars in it, I don't care. I'm just gonna watch it. If the movie says Star Wars, I'm gonna put no critical thought. I'm not gonna. In fact, I'd really like if they just like made a trilogy, but instead of like writing the trilogy all at once, I think they should just go ahead and make 3 different movies without. They can figure out how to connect them later. They should just make 3 different movies. You know, just to get them out as quickly as they can. I'll just like it no matter how they tie in together. I'm sure it'll be fine. Get 3 different directors. I don't care. Or maybe just 2 directors that hate each other. That could be good. Maybe that would be good. I don't know. Probably would be really good. Yeah, you get like 2 instead of, a cohesive vision, you just get 2 guys that hate each other and have their egos get really, really involved. Sorry for getting so political, but it is election day. Yeah, it's not like they had 20 years and infinite budget. But again, I only like Star Wars movies that you like, by the way. I like all the ones you like, and I hate all the ones you hate. Pretty happy to remand the 5-mana spell here. That's 2 time warps. Good to know that they're kind of in on that plan. Oh yeah, they should get the guys that directed Game of Thrones to do Star Wars. I would love that. Dude, Game of Thrones is great. Just kind of the perfect show. No complaints there either. It's kind of brilliant. I loved how in the last season, instead of having characters talk to each other, which is like so overdone, they just had them give vague looks and then just go to the next scene. I like that a lot. Thought that was cute and unique. And Bran the Broken, what a guy, am I right? What a guy. Certainly had the most interesting arc every step of the way in the rest of the series. It's not like It's not like Bran had in any way the least interesting plot points on the whole series leading up to the end. My favorite part of Game of Thrones was the subtle nod of Starbucks. Oh, dude. Gunder, thank you for Twitch Prime. Love to see a new subscriber. We're getting a little, shit posty today, but I'm having a good time. My favorite part about Game of Thrones was when Arya spends 30 minutes in King's Landing while, it's getting burned to the ground by Daenerys and it's horrible, it's so bad. And then she just goes over to Jon and says, I know a killer when I see one. It's just like, what does that mean? She just watched her like burn the city to the ground and she goes, I know a killer when I see one. Well, like, what tipped you off? Was it the ruthless murder? Was it the... It was such one of the worst lines of a season with many, many bad lines. It's like, thanks, Arya. This is a really helpful insight here while I have like an important decision to make. Yeah, Arya's horse. I don't know. There's so much. Yeah, the whole little finger was... Oh man, we're not gonna do this today, okay? I just can't do this today. I can't do it, guys. I can't. Season 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones were bad. They've spoiled the franchise for me. I don't really have any interest in watching anymore. And let's just leave it at that. Finally, the truth has come out. My feelings on Game of Thrones. I think we just let this resolve. I don't want to lose my Jace. I don't have a no politics stance on the stream, although some people think I do. But I am trying to, it's election day. I think most people are here to just relax and, not focus. But, I'm as stressed out as a lot of different most Americans are today. And I guess it's manifesting in the form of my takes on Star Wars and Game of Thrones. Today's the day. Today's the day Spike gets canceled. Roll the Always Sunny intro theme. Mana Leak is devastating. And, so is drawing 8 lands. I've missed like the last 2 seasons of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay, I will go to El Gimnasio now.
Okay, have a good day. Or I guess have a good time. And a good day.
Scalding Tarn. Oh look, I know that card, I know that card.
Yeah, these are just all the cards
I know all these cards.
Yeah, good job.
Wow. It's Uro. Uro.
Uro's one of the worst cards in the format. Sucks. It's a good draw.
So you're playing a red-blue decker.
It looks red-blue, but actually...
It looks white. Is that white?
This deck is called Eldrazi-tron.
What is that? Is that a card?
It's kind of a reference to
Cryptic Command.
A few different things.
What is that art?
What is this art? Good question.
Is that a pelican man? It's like a man with a pelican head.
An astute observation. It is, yeah. It's like the Greek god of, or not, the Egyptian god of. It's like there is an Egyptian god that's a bird head, right? It's basically the same thing.
Oh, okay.
These are like widely regarded as being one of like the worst design decisions in MTG. They're like pretty widely disliked. And I'm also not a fan, but I have a rental service and this is what they gave me today.
is
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah.
a
This
dolphin
this guy is a zombie now.
swimming
This character.
in the sea with his dolphin friends, happy as can be.
I'm actually listening to that right now. It's
What?
crazy.
Oh yeah, can I have these headphones for the gym?
What about your AirPods?
I forgot it. Oh, but those will fall
Ah.
out. Those like to fall out when I need to.
No, they
practice
won't.
it.
They won't
Do you
fall
wanna
out.
Use my AirPods.
You can just take these.
You can use my AirPods. They'll
I don't want. I have other headphones here. It's fine. My phone won't die.
they'll pair to your.
It'll be fun.
Never.
Esther's being real quiet because the headphones have earwax on them, and she doesn't want to say that she doesn't want to use the headphones anymore because they've got earwax on them. She's got the quiet. Oh God.
I didn't want it to.
Oh my God.
I didn't want to say it on your stream.
I know. I
Apparently
know.
you
I
have
know. I
no
know.
Filter, but apparently I have no filter. But you can just filter. Apparently this is a good filter. Like so you can say that you have earwax on these headphones. A lot of them.
Because I have a spiring spike. Damn it. This is my
Like,
stream.
what the fuck? What is going on? My headphones! You take them. Disgusting.
Why do I wear headphones? I find I have more energy if I listen to the music during the stream. That's cool, Super Whack. Love Ross. I've been sick, okay?
What?
I've always...
That had nothing to do with your ears.
Okay, filter back on for SD. So you're gonna wear the AirPods? You wanna wear these?
No, those are worse than AirPods for some reason.
Okay.
They like... I don't know. I'll wear my AirPods.
What is the deck tech point reward? If you redeem it, you can send a deck list here and I'll take a look at it, give you my thoughts on it, what I like, what I dislike, all that stuff. So it's not the worst for us. Could have tails into the returns to play trigger, maybe. We can instant speed, do everything, so I don't really feel like we need to do anything before then. Yeah, today's been a weird stream today. It's been wild, but I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time. Yeah, I think we were supposed to upkeep it because it taps the land. I'll just do it in combat, and it'll also tap the land. I'm kind of surprised it feels like we have a chance here. They have triple blue, double white, double green, and they also have 2 birds. But I'll go after their green. May like hurt their arrows. Yeah, Esther has aired all my dirty laundry today.
Running from himself. What did you just say? Did you say?
You've revealed my IBS and my earwax.
I did not know such thing. You did that. I was trying to hide it.
I just thought we had a safe place and a solid relationship full of trust and.
Yes.
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes.
What's that from?
I'm just freestyling.
I don't believe you. Because you steal stuff from everywhere.
Stop. You pulled it out of my ear really hard earlier. Put it back
I was
in.
going for your cheeks.
Oh, I thought you were going for my ears again. Okay, go to the gym. You're banished.
Banished? You can't banish me.
You what? That's what I thought. Ross played the list without sharks? God, Sensei, thank you for gifted 5 subs. I guess you guys are liking the rapport that Esther and I have. I do love that lady, but I'd never tell her. Never, ever, ever. I guess we're gonna Helix this, and then maybe snap Force and Ephemerate. So welcome to Popular Hermit, Mr. Sari, F and Larry, Sunguard, Ecstasy in Service. Has been a good stream today. Been weird for sure. I have Angers in the deck right now. I have one. Can't counter that. We also have Cryptics that could be good. Out of Sanctuary, I'm just gonna draw a card. Come on! Come on!
It's for a legit thing this time.
Slipping away. Yeah, so the chat was the challenge just like see how bad the deck is without Shark Typhoon? Was that just the idea?
Now I leave.
Okay, I love you,
Goodbye.
sweetheart.
You don't.
I said what?
You don't, but I love you. So.
Oh, okay. Well, your love will be strong enough for the two of us then. I think I could learn to love you over time. Three Confounding Conundrum on the side is... I've been pretty low on the card personally. Dude, Teferi is putting in all the work this game. The deck has not been super kind to us. I think mana dorks are really, really important in our opponent's deck to have a chance at beating like big mana decks. And some combo decks too. Yeah, opponent's hurting some souls. We've already used one Jace. Jace is probably the best draw. I'm going to Wildfire first to thin my deck a bit before I plus Teferi. Cryptic Command would be good. Yikes, another land. Jeez. I did this first to thin, and by thin deck I meant draw less lands. Okay, are we losing Teferi? I guess not necessarily, at least. I've played Uro and Soulherder decks. I think it's like okay as like a one of tutor target, but I haven't loved it beyond that really. I don't, but Nassif really likes Uro and Soulherder, so there are certainly some players who think yes. Right, they've got 4 cards in their hand after their draw step. Teferi is untapping on this board, but is not untapping if they just like Skyclave my Snapcaster. Yeah. Fran, where's Fran? Where's Fran who keeps saying, have you thought about adding the 25th land? Spike, are you sure? 24 lands. Fran has probably asked me a dozen times about 24 versus 25 lands in this deck. Where is he? He's probably streaming right now. Teferi goes to 1, I guess. I feel like my opponent has like some number of mana leaks and remands because they're playing those cards for some reason. We have 1 Anger of the Gods in the deck. I guess that's the best draw, not the Jace. But Jace, Anger, Cryptic Command are the best. Time Raveler into these cards. Yeah, Fran usually, plays 30 cards. 30 lands, of course. That's a Cryptic Command. Am I going to go for the Cryptic Lock here? I think I will. This is game 2, and we are up a game. I think. Yeah, the Cryptic Command lock is not really usually doing anything without some source of card advantage. Not sure about this Force. It's okay. I was kind of hoping to keep the Force to protect against a counter spell. How are they playing Remand, Mana Leak, and Aether Vial in their Soul Herder deck? I know they have 80 cards, but 80 cards is not that many, you know? It's like 13 extra spells. Maybe it's fine, I don't know. Well, they couldn't kill Teferi because I tapped all their creatures. They never had a window to do so. I guess I may just try to kill them with this 3/3 as well. Yeah, you may not be able to read this card, but it is a good draw. This is bad because this is so much card advantage with the Witness. I'm actually gonna... Maybe it's better to counter... Yeah, let's counter the rebound. No. Yeah. We'll counter the rebound and then tap their team. Although they could just Soul Herder the Witness. Ah, man, I really wish we had these forced to exile it. I guess we just don't. I guess we're just in on like the Cryptic tap your team. Sugar Bandit has redeemed a confidence boost. That's usually you send me a deck tech and I'll just tell you the list is perfect. But most people, or not most, but a lot of times people just want some confidence. So if that's what you're here for, let me know. Oh, it's a confidence boost for me. Thank you. Thank you. Needed it. We have one Anger of the Gods right now. No verdicts. Maybe we'll just deck them. They still have 34 cards in their deck. Thanks, Squarebet. Well, you can have those 20,000 points on me, Sugar. What else do we have here? I mean, we just have this Cryptic. We are tapping all of their creatures every turn, you know? Like, they are getting to draw 2 extra cards a turn. Now we're drawing... now we're getting a Teferi Plus and a Brainstorm every turn in addition to... our draw step. So I would say that, you know, I don't know if we're necessarily in the spot where we're looking for outs so much as we're just kind of doing okay. We know they have an Ephemerate, so I'm not going to bolt anything yet, but if they Ephemerate end of turn, I may respond to it. I'm not sure what this is getting, but I think we can counter most things, right? Maybe bolt some things. Could be a Venser. Just a Soul Herder, sure. But I'm just trying to draw every single card in their deck. But little do they know. Oh, interesting. Does this do anything? What does this even do? I guess they just get to flicker it a bunch. But if we counter it, it goes to the graveyard and then they flicker the Witness. So I guess we counter draw, and then bolt the Witness. Does this count as garbage time? It's kind of funny. We've got one person saying, what outs do we have? And someone else saying, is this garbage time? I don't know. I don't think so. It also feels likely to me that they have Remand / Mana Leak in their hand and we just die now. But I think we had to do it that way. Ephemerate Ice Fang. They also will have to, if they do kill me here, they have to win the next game in 5 minutes. Woo! Still in it, baby. There's their third Soul Herder, which they felt like they needed. It's possible they don't have any outs to this besides a counterspell. Now that we've got rid of their Vincer, I guess they could find another Ewit to get it back. Imagine thinking a Supreme Verdict or Terminus would be good here. We'll just tap every turn for the rest of the game. Why would a sweeper be good here? Can someone explain? This is game 2 and we're up a game, right? Am I remembering correctly? If I could draw any card here, it might be like Pillarfield Ox. Pillarfield Ox could be a good draw. I don't know. I mean, it blocks some of their creatures well. Chaos Orb could be good. Chaos Orb could be good, yeah. They forgot that they had Time Warps in their deck. Alright, game 3, and they have 3 minutes and 40 seconds on their clock. Gave them as much time as we could by conceding there. Good luck to them. On the play, I think I'd like the idea of the third Remand, maybe. Play 1 Gust. If only we had drawn Pillarfield Ox. That's true. Saddleback, or I can't remember what support does. Does Pillarfield Ox block Saddleback Lagak? I think it does. It really does expand the meme. Sounds good, I think. I mean, Anger's the best card, maybe. Am I gonna make a 0/0 Shark end of turn? I don't think so. I think I'll just get a Triome. This is all, of course, assuming I don't Spell Snare anything. And I will Spell Snare anything here. Or anything that's a 2-mana spell. Snap Snare, although it's not super likely to hit something when Aether Vial goes to 2. I'll take it. Don't have to ask me twice. There's a Glass Pool Shore tapped. Any reasons why I call it Jeskai Flagstones? I call it Jeskai Flagfires. But Fran, F. Pauls, suggested the name, and I like it. I think it's good. I'll take this trade if they offer it, or if they want to take it here. I think that them just having creatures into play flicker is like really important for them, so just keeping the board clear is a priority for me. We're playing against a Soul Herder deck. I've been messing around with a few of these variants. I think they're okay. 3-drop. That 3-drop is Eternal Witness. Okay. To get back Coiling Oracle. So maybe we'll Anger next turn. Might want to get a little more value. We've got 2 minutes on their clock. I will concede if I am 100% dead. Also kind of seems like they're repping a 2-mana counterspell, which their deck plays a lot of. Guess not. Sanctuary as a basic island is great here. plus. Gust is interesting. Vials in on their upkeep a Glasspool Mimic to copy Eternal Witness to get back a wall. Why do this on upkeep? I guess they're just making decisions quickly because they have less than 2 minutes on their clock. As it felt like one sweeper has been enough in the board. Yeah. You know, I think saying that we have one sweeper, it feels a little disingenuous because the deck is playing 4 Madcap Experiment and 4 Platinum Emperion in the sideboard, which is like a sweeper in a lot of matchups and is even better than a sweeper against decks like Dredge and Etron. Please don't have a Force of Negation, I guess. Cool. Is this a concede when opponent is at 1 second stream? It has been in the past. I've actually conceded when it says my opponent has 0 seconds and that it's been a win for them. But I only concede if I have no outs, if I'm just deterministically dead, if I feel like I can't win. I don't have a problem doing so. Okay, so they can actually Yorion here. If only I brought in my Tail's End. We could Snap Path the walls and deny them of 2 draws, but I think I'll just Path the Yorion. Why trade with Ewit instead of letting Anger exile it? I think the 1 loyalty on the Teferi is more relevant than exiling Ewit. You can disagree with me if you want. I encourage you to send me a hate-filled message if you want to. I feel like we don't get enough of those around here. But that was the thought process, is the 1 loyalty on Teferi matters more. Why don't I value the clock as part of a game? It is part of the game. And, you know, I am saying I'm saying I'll concede if I'm deterministically dead. So I'm saying if my opponent has shown me that they're going to win this match, I don't mind conceding. I think it's kind of a sporting thing to do. If you disagree with me that it's a sporting thing to do, I think that's a totally fine take to have. But the clock absolutely is a part of the game. I'm not going to concede because my opponent timed out. I'm only going to concede if I think my opponent won, you know? And if you disagree, that's not a big deal either. Just my take on sportsmanship. Every man's got to have a code, you know? Remand the Witness. And hit me with the GGs. Yeah, there's no jokes. There's no arguments. Only comments. Only comments. I suppose Strand is a little better than Tarn here because we've drawn our basic mountain. Not that we're ever going to fetch basic plains with this hand. Well, I'm sure I'm glad that we have Cleansing Wildfire in our hand. These matchups are way tougher if you don't draw Wildfire. I am going to fire one off here. I feel like white border Tron lands more often mean Eldrazi Tron. And that's not really based in reality, I guess. But I was right, so... Ha. Sure thing, Exterminator. Looking forward to it. I do think Snare is good against E-Tron, but obviously, yeah, maybe we should have held it up because of, yeah. Not that we knew it was E-Tron. Yeah, maybe we should have gone with my gut a bit. Kind of feel like they could just hold the tome to draw 4 cards. They put a card on top. It's a power plant. So they can obviously get Tron here. Let's see what we draw. Yeah, I think I'll just snap Wildfire here. I'm of course really hoping that they only play 2 basics. Tron players tend to be pretty divided on whether or not 2 or 3 is the correct number. Eldrazi Tron players. But if they're playing just 2, we can draw another Wildfire. I'd be pretty excited to Wildfire them out of some games. Yeah, GG's. Sorry that we couldn't have the match reach its natural conclusion. The game 2 went so long. Be great if they just had the second waste in their hand. Probably a little too much to wish for. You know, one thing I like about this sideboard plan too is Tails In helps a lot against mono green Tron, but it's not as good against E-Tron. But we have the Madcap Experiment package, which is good against E-Tron, but it's not as good against mono green. They decided to get a Cavern of Souls here, which is a little interesting. Kind of leads me to think that they have a Smasher in their hand over Thought Not Seer, because they could just resolve Seer. Thanks, Exterminator. I didn't think you were actually going to type it out, but it's a good bit. It's been a weird stream today. Do I prefer the newer naming standards? Yes, I do. I think that new, or, you know, you can have creative deck names in modern Magic naming conventions, you know, but they have to kind of form naturally. It's really hard for you to say, you know, here's my Game of Thrones deck, and then you have to figure out why is this called the Game of Thrones deck? With the density of decks that are put out into the world these days, with how many new lists are emerging every single day, it's just very difficult to keep with like the older naming conventions that we've had in the past. Actually, I think they have a Smasher, so I'm going to try to block and bolt the Smasher this turn. Does that make sense? There's just so many decks that are made that it's really hard for any one of them or all of them, or it's just hard to have like these like really creative deck names be given to decks with how many are out there. So I think that cool deck names are fun when they happen organically, but you can't force it, you know? And I think that deck names should be intuitive, and you should be able to hear the name of a deck and try to get an idea of like what that deck is based on just the name. They put a card on the bottom with the tome. We know the only card we know in their hand is Cavern of Souls. Yeah, it's like 4 horsemen, like, you know. Yeah, who knows what that means. Mazemind Tome was just scry 4 and gained 4 life, which isn't that good for 2 mana. I feel like they should have tried to draw more cards in this matchup. If I were to choose one deck to be recognized for my work on it, what would it be? I don't know. I mean, I feel like I do get recognition for a lot of the decks I work on. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Maybe I could have cycled Remand. I guess that's bad against Seer. But I feel like I do get a decent amount of recognition these days. Gonna pass. I'm gonna leave the Mystic Sanctuary in my hand. What's my favorite deck I've worked on? I don't know. I don't think that there are too many decks that they're all special to me, you know. I don't think I have a favorite. Good question for sure. I just don't have a good answer. Thanks, Nick. If anything, I just wish I could get less credit, you know? If I could have less clout. Thanks, McDoney. Yeah, they're backspacing on their angry message in chat right now, I think. It's really good if we double bolt this Thought Not Seer. We just draw a Jace or a Cryptic Command. So I'm going to do it. They have perfect info about our hand. I think that it's better to, you know, just get a land in play for like Shark Typhoon, shuffle a bit, thinner deck a bit, than it is to bluff a counter spell. I don't want to Mystic Sanctuary any of these spells either. I do still think they have Smasher in their hand. But we can Spell Snare a Coding here. So they probably won't go for Coding. Where are they going to get? Wormcoil? Crucible to get back their mind, and Power Plant maybe. Mystic Forge, yeah, that's the best one. So let's Mystic Sanctuary back Force of Negation, so that way we can have an answer to the Mystic Forge. And what am I targeting with this Wildfire? They have a Simian Spirit Guide? Jeez. Okay. I guess the Cavern. Okay, we just win the game, I guess. They are playing a third ways. It's really good to know about. But we have a Shark Typhoon in our hand, so there's really no way we could lose or be beaten, or opponent could come back or win the game. They could make this a 4/4 creature to block the Snapcaster. They decide they'd rather tap it here. Can this play lands? I don't think it can. They're just artifacts and colorless spells. We do have, you know, Teferis and Cryptic Commands that can bounce the Forge, so it's not like it has to sit and play the rest of the game. Alright, so let me just start off and attack. See if we need like Spell Snare as Spatial Contortion. Say that 5 times fast. And then let's go Snap Wildfire their Power Plant. We've already destroyed. I guess there's already there's one of each Tron land already in their graveyard. I'll just target Power Plant. You guys can't convince me to spend time thinking about it. This should be their last. They should have no more waste, right? They have a basic mountain. That means they're playing Boil in their sideboard. It's so bad for us. So bad for us. Oh, damn it. 4 basics is it's really big deal in this matchup. Yeah, this has been a thing. Tron players playing Boil for a while, and it's kind of cute because very often the control players will Field of Ruin or path them into the mountain, so they don't have to have like map. But they also this version is also playing a Simian Spirit Guide, which is scary. So we're attacking them for 7 down to 10. I may want to like counter something and pick up Snapcaster so I can double Helix here. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna like bounce the Forge. Just gonna pass. I might like counter Thought-Knot Seer, bounce Snapcaster, Helix, and then Snap Helix. And I guess I'm snaring. Could also like counterbalance the Forge. Just kind of like this. I think that we make it boiled off of a Simian Spirit Guide here. We could bring an Aether Gust as a goof.
Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my god!
So we won that game. It was not easy. So I think that I want to cut the burn spells for the Platinum package. And then I think we want to keep the paths. We can consider playing some number of Tails End. We could consider playing some number of... we could consider playing the one of Nexus of Fate. How do we win that? We reduce their life total from 20 to 0. But beyond that, I can't really tell you. Against this version, I kind of like this the most. I'm glad you're liking the deck, Equinox. I do like the Nexus too, but I think I'm just going to submit this against this version. Tailsend is better on the play, maybe, against Expedition map. Are puns considered jokes? Absolutely, they are. A phrase intended to be humorous, I think, just is a joke, you know? Ilmag, I don't know that I can necessarily articulate the exact split behind these cards besides just me playing a ton of this deck and hammering the list out and, you know, in the forge, as it were. Well, thank you, London Mulligan, I guess. Unintended puns, I think, are not jokes, right? Because you didn't intend them to be funny. Yeah, I think a joke has to be intended to be funny to be a joke. Turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer. Used to be the scourge of Modern. Pretty good against the Mold of 5, I guess. Although our hand is all 4 drops, so I guess it's, you know, not as bad, maybe? I just want to draw a Wildfire and then cast a 4-drop on turn 3. Yes, yes, yes. Exactly like we drew it up. Hell yeah, you can't Thought-Knot Seer the top of the deck, opponent. You should know this. What do I think of Is It Control with Boyle and Kiki combo? I like it. I like Timu a lot, and his list looks cool. Oh, just a Reshaper. I guess I'll shock because we can't shock next turn. Nice Thought-Knot Seer on my Madcap opponent. We are about to flip our whole deck. No, we shuffled. But we did put 2 Madcaps on, or Emperions on the bottom. We mulled the 5, and we had both Emperions in our opening hand, but we put both on the bottom. Yeah, I'd say that we've drawn slightly above average this game. Some people might say, Spike, you drew perfect into perfect, and I'd say it's just very normal for me. I think I deserve to draw perfectly. They name Eldrazi with Cavern. Yeah, they also had they have also had a solid draw. So what do we do? I don't really want to block any of their creatures in case they left in Dismember. I think I'm just going to hold up Cryptic for a turn. Be kind of nice to draw a second Madcap. Dude, if their last card is Boil, it's going to be so good. Well, we can't... So if we play Jace, we can't Cryptic Dismember when we block, is what I was saying. And, like, they're not going to just cast a Dismember without me attacking into a block here. And we can't, oh, wow. Okay, well, we'll just keep drawing hot, I guess. We just draw one more land, we're just going to tap their team 3 turns in a row. Although we can't play, we can't pay life to shock lands or fetch lands right now. They can kill Platinum Emperion with Blast Zone or Walking Ballista. Or double Dismember. We can Wildfire our own Flooded Strand here to turn it into a land. So this turns off Dismember, this attack. Not like super duper relevant, I guess. I think I'm just going to Wildfire this Flooded Strand. Bounce a Thought-Knot Seer? Or sorry, Smasher. Kind of like keeping them off Tron. I don't think that's super relevant here. They can cast basically anything they draw. So I guess they could Karn into something. Yeah, I don't think that's super relevant. Yeah, I mean the Madcap package is really good against E-Tron, I think. I do believe that that's the case. This cannot kill colorless permanents, but it's not 4 mana win the game. And Madcap Experiment is very, very rarely 4 mana win the game. It is some amount of the time, but I think it's still very, very powerful in a lot of these matchups. And one really nice thing is that your opponent has to respect it, or they're going to be really soft to it. And if they're respecting it, you know, they kind of sometimes have to play cards that are bad against the rest of your deck, you know? Like, a Braid is only good against Madcap. You don't always have to go for Madcap, or you can side it out. It does, like, tax their deck a lot, and, you know, maybe they sideboard incorrectly some way. There's the Madcap package, I think, is just good in this deck, even if it's a known quantity, is my current opinion on it. I'm going to keep this in the blind on the draw. And one thing that's really nice is that the package, the plan, whatever you want to call it, it really covers a lot of your bases, where you all of a sudden, by playing it, you have hate for almost every creature matchup, and for graveyard decks that like just can't beat the Emperion a lot of the time. You have hate for really everything. Can I brew a modern deck with Priests of the Forgotten Gods? Yes, I can. I actually have I think I own a foil Priests of the Forgotten Gods, and so if I can crack the code and spike it, it'd be well worth the $40. All right, your deck will be second in the dono queue for this week. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. It's just hard to have hate for like Dredge and hate for every single creature deck, and hate for Oops All spells in those 6 cards, and have that those. And you know, one other thing is like, so you can play like 3 verdicts and like 2 graveyard hate spells, but then against Aether Vial decks, you can only bring in 3 of those cards against Aether Vial decks, you know. And so you have all these remands and forces, and it's really hard to find enough room for the Uro piles, or enough room to have hate for the Uro piles, enough room to have hate for the creature decks without playing the package. They plus their Teferi. I am gonna... Oh no, we can't cast both burn spells. This is so bad. This is so bad. I guess I'm just going to bounce it with a Cryptic. Jethro gifting a sub to Perfy. That's awesome. Thank you. So Perfy can get to 2 million channel points to marry me. Very excited. Another suitor. I'm going to jam the hero here. And it's going to resolve. Maybe this is worse than Helix, Bolt, and Hold Up Remand. I don't know, it seems fine, kind of, while they don't have Cryptic up. Growth Spiral into Remand is pretty tough. Do donations get channel points? Not to my knowledge, but maybe they should. Yeah. I think we probably should have gone Helix, Bolt, and Remand up. Equinox 2 months in a row, just here for more sweet Jeskai content. Hell yeah. You know, when I started 2020, I didn't think that Jeskai would be a modern playable deck, and now it's just like my favorite deck in the format, which is pretty exciting. Yeah, not the mirror. This is an Omnath pile. We played more gifts on Sunday, McThony. I thought it would be like a good time to play that deck after I hadn't played it in a while, and people have been asking me to, and I just won the PTQ so I could play something a little more fun, and it didn't go very well. I don't think the deck is great at the moment, sadly. Mr. Fister, thank you for Twitch Prime. Appreciate you, bud. Well, yeah, I think we have made a blunder. If the opponent has too much of a follow-up, we just have no chance at all. Yeah, I mean, I love Nihiri the Harbinger as much as everybody else in the world, or probably even more, but just not there anymore. Did we play against this dude earlier? Maybe we did. I think game 1 is really tough because you just have all these burn spells, but we have a pretty good sideboard plan. You cut the spot removal spells for every single blue card in the sideboard, and it's been working pretty well so far. Do you need to submit the Dono deck? Oh, you're good, me too, or Mir Bito. I got it. So that's 2 Dono brews. I've been asked to play the Omnath pile of my choosing, and now any deck with Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Pretty exciting. Have I been watching chess streams? I haven't been, but I have been watching the Queen's Gambit, and I used to play a lot of chess when I was younger, and I've been thinking about getting back into it. What do I think of the new Boros Nihiri list that's popped up? I don't think it's very good, but I think it's pretty cool. I think people are mostly playing it because it's cool, rather than it being good. Which is fine, right? I was really hoping I could Tails in that Misty, but they played around it. I'm going to Wildfire their Triome. I want to hit a land really bad. Feels bad to do this maybe when they could just untap and play a Teferi, but we're also not in good shape if we are missing land drops, of course. They can't play a Teferi. They can play a Rin and 6, which is bad. We at least have an Aether Gust in our hand, though. I think I do get a Triome here. I'd rather draw a different land, but I mean, I would take a Triome if I drew it. So if they fetch, I'll gust the Rin in response to the fetch. If they don't fetch, I'll gust it in their draw step. And then pray. If only I had that 33rd land. Alright, no Teferi. Wow, we untapped. That's awesome. I think I am going to go cycling Wildfire again. And I'm going to target their only white source. Pass it back. I'm going to remand this because if they have Veil of Summer, we at least get to draw a card. Another reason why I like, another reason to play Remand over Mana Leak is Veil of Summer. We're kind of in good shape if we can find a land, though. We can go, and they don't have Force, but we can go Teferi Bounce and then Tails in it on the way down with Force up. They do have a Force, though. And we didn't find a land, so my 2 conditions of this being okay were not met. I'm kind of glad this game is happening because I've been beating these Uro piles a lot, and I've been saying that these matchups are bad, and it has kind of felt like some of you haven't believed me, but I hope this has been a sobering realization that these matchups just aren't all that good. But we're not out of it yet. I'm going to go after their Triome here and then draw the Aether Gust. And then if I don't need to Tails End or Gust anything, we can Gust this end of turn and then hold up Tails End. If we do need to do something, we can maybe play Jace and then Brainstorm and then Gust the Omnath. They also may be out of basics. I think 6 is usually the number that they play. So this is going to give them 4 mana, but we now have Gust plus Tails End up. Maybe I was supposed to... Oh, they failed to find, and now we get to Gust with Tails End up. Wow. They failed to find. They didn't check. That's so good for us. Missing land drops isn't the best example of a bad control matchup. I mean, I think that's a fair argument. It's a fair argument, yeah. We could, yeah, I guess I don't think we can afford to Tails End here. If you want to Tails End the front half of Uro for some reason, and they have a green up, it's correct to Tails End the trigger and not the Uro because they can't Veil of Summer the trigger. I am just going to jam here, I think. If they escape Uro, we can maybe Jace bounce next turn, and we need to get a little lucky to win. Cool. I would say this qualifies, huh? If I want to force, I think I'm pitching a second Jace. Yeah, I did know my opponent's basic land count better than them. Pull him back. Pull him back. Thank you, Tails End. Okay, they can escape Uro if they have an untapped green source to fetch. It's kind of fine, though. Let's bounce it. Well, what would be bad if they hit Field of the Dead here? That would be so bad. Okay. I don't know why I said that. I'm just asking for trouble, I think. I think it's just too greedy to brainstorm here. If they go for Uro plus escape, it's their whole turn and we get to make a 4/4 shark. They're going to Mystic Sanctuary back Force, but by doing that, that means they have to have another fetch if they want to escape Uro here. Yeah, we have to force, and they're gonna counter back, which is not good for us. But this is their turn. They get a bunch of zombies. We get a 4/4 shark, which can block zombies. Counter bounce my Jace. So now let's see if the top card of our library is a second force, and we'll consider forcing this. Right, it's this, which actually can answer some amount of field, right? But I don't play Shark Typhoon in every deck, do I? Just a lot of decks. I'm gonna hold this up for the Uro we know is in our opponent's hands. We're gonna take 8 here. Oh yeah, right. They don't have another basic to get. Yeah. Okay. Pass. We're not out of it yet. We know. Oh, so they have a force for my Gust, right? Their hand is currently Force Uro, and then the fact that they drew a fetch land is really, really bad. Damn it. I mean, I guess there weren't like so many things that they could have had that were good for us. Can they force this and still escape Uro? I think they can. Alright, the run ends here. They're going to save the force for Jace, which I guess is fine. Can't play both. I'll cast this, but we're dead. Tough stuff. We stumbled a bit and I thought we were going to pull out of that. Still a fine finish. Can't beat Omnath every single time. Okay, that's going to do it for today's stream. Hope you guys had a good one. I know we got a little